She's the lamestream media's worst nightmare. Karoline Leavitt might be new to the role, but she's already proving to be a powerhouse as Trump's press secretary. In just a short time, she's delivered some of the most hard-hitting responses the press has ever faced. She's been shutting down their narratives with facts, confidence, and a level of composure that is leaving them scrambling. And today we're covering some of her best takedowns that left these reporters speechless. And trust me, you're in for a treat. As always, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell for more videos just like this.
When you're up here in this briefing room speaking to the American public, do you view yourself and your role as...
Held 2 press briefings, and most reporters kept repeating questions about DEI programs like there's no tomorrow. This particular answer reminds me of Morgan Freeman's take where he said, quote, "Black History Month is an insult. You're going to relegate my history to a month?" In another interview, he noted that Black history is American history, so it's refreshing to witness this line of thinking coming back. But her answer wasn't enough for the woke reporters, as they were trying to find new angles to get a gotcha moment from Karoline, but she continued holding her ground.
The president talked a lot yesterday about hiring the best and the brightest to work in the federal government. Safety aside, does he believe that disabled people do have a place to work in the federal government? And does he also support the current protections for disabled people working in the private sector as well?
The president has made it very clear that this is a common sense solution to solving some of the problems that we have seen at the Federal Aviation Administration and also when it comes to many of the federal agencies across our government. People should not be hired based on their disabilities, based on their skin color, their gender, their race. None of that matters. What matters to this president and this administration is how well you can do your job, and the American people agree with that sentiment. So it's about competence, skill, and merit. And so the president is focused on ensuring that the most competent individuals, the best and the brightest in this country, are in positions in this federal government, especially when it comes to public safety. Can't overemphasize the importance of those jobs.
I'm not going to pull a Philip DeFranco here and jump into conspiracy theories related to the latest 2 airplane incidents, but I have to say what she's saying here is nothing but common sense. But I guess that's too much for the minds of the woke media, and they focus on this victimhood to get ahead in life instead of focusing on personal responsibility and changing one's own circumstances. Disabled or not, if you're qualified for the job, you get to have it. Stephen Hawking was disabled, but that didn't stop him from achieving some of the greatest things humans have ever done. And he was regarded as the greatest theoretical physicist of our time. These types of questions got repeated so much that Karoline decided to put an end to them once and for all.
And I think just to put a fine point on this, because this is the 3rd or 4th question I've answered on this subject, when you are flying on an airplane with your loved ones, which every one of us in this room has, do you pray that your plane lands safely and gets you to your destination, or do you pray that the pilot has a certain skin color? I think we all know the answer to that question, and as President Trump said yesterday, it's common sense.
Amen to that. And you know what's ironic? Joy Behar actually had the audacity to claim that Karoline only got the job because she's a, quote, 10 in Trump's book. Mine too. Now, some might call that sexist, but I don't think so. I just think Joy is jealous because she couldn't match Karoline's level of sharpness and articulation, even if she spent a lifetime trying. And she's beautiful. This woman struggles to even get through a sentence without tripping over her own contradictions. Check out some of the videos I've made. They are my favorite there at The View. She even went on Good Morning America and perfectly dismantled the reporter's loaded question in a matter of seconds.
Look, we want people to return to work. We have beautiful federal office buildings here in Washington, D.C. that American taxpayers are paying for. They should be used. That's what the American people deserve.
But is there any concern that we risk losing people with years of experience like doctors and let's say scientists?
Well, most doctors who work in actual hospitals and medical institutions have to show up to the office. We know that employees are more productive and more efficient when they are working in an in-office environment, and that's what this administration expects, and I think that's what American taxpayers expect. Don't forget, it's the American people who are funding this government, and they deserve people who are actually showing up to work on their behalf.
Watching any clip of her is just witnessing one truth bomb after another, and it's not just the media feeling the heat. As she wrapped up her very first press briefing, she seized the moment to take a few well-placed jabs at Joe Biden, and let's just say it was a sight to behold.
Well, in terms of programming,
Sounds
should we
fun.
expect to see you here every day? How frequently will these press briefings be?
It is a good question, April. So, look, the president, as you know, is incredibly accessible. First day here, he wanted all of you in the Oval Office. You got a 60-minute press conference with the leader of the free world while he was simultaneously signing executive orders. I may add, that's pretty impressive. I don't think the previous office holder would be able to pull such a thing off. So, look, the president is the best spokesperson that this White House has, and I can assure you that you will be hearing from both him and me as much as possible.
Shots fired. Honestly, it's been only a few days since Trump assumed office, and it already feels like decades. Craig Shirley, who worked as a consultant for Bush Sr., summed it up best by saying, quote, "Politics is motion and Donald Trump is a study in motion." But I'd love to know your thoughts here, so let's get the conversation rolling in the comments down below. And if you want your friends to be a part of our community who enjoy independent thinking and reporting, please share the video with them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
बेहद मशहूर हैं आपरे सारे बिरामिंदा जिन्हें भी मैं कोई इतना सपोर्ट करके इन स्टेज तक घिन सरेकी गेमर दा भी मैं बहुत मशहूर हां जहां आपके सरेकी पबजी क्रिएटर की ते आवाज चाहिए देखो यारा जो वक्त आ गए जरा असा चाहंदे आसे असा ये चाहंदे आसे जो सारे सरेकी बिरा आपा ते रल वजन इतफाक कर वजन हर कौम हमेशा इतफाक दे नाल अगते टुरदी है कल्ला बंदा हमेशा कमजोर हुंदे अल्लाह पाक असा सरेकी दा इवें इतफाक कायम रखे हमेशा असा अगू तो टाइम निकल सकते हैं जेले साडे अंदर वड्डे छोटे वाली गल ना होसी क्योंकि सारे खुदा दी मखलूक हैं कोई बड़ा छोटा क्रिएटर कह नहीं सारे बराबर हैं आज तक हमेशा गरूर वाला बंदा जलील था दुनिया में कई कोने ते वञो पे जै भी आज तक आपने उते गरूर कीते या खुद को कुछ समझे सी वो आज ई दुनिया ते है भी कहना और उनका ना निशानी कहनी और ना ही को दुनिया याद रख दिए हमेशा अपने अखलाक चंगे करो इवें एक बे को सपोर्ट कीती हो तेरे सामने कितना सरेकी बिरा आपका कंटेंट बनाई पैन अपने वॉइस ओवर करन ठीक है उन्हें के छोटा डिवाइस हैं जितना उन्हें के थी सकते वो वीडियो अपलोड की थी पैन वो वॉइस ओवर भी की थी पैन अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह आज तेरे सामने इतना ट्रेंडिंग ते सिर सरेकी गेमर चलते खड़े न हर कौम दी अपनी टीम होती है देखो जा सिंधी हैं पठान हैं पंजाबी हैं जेरी गेम में वेंदन भाई फिलानी कौम आई होती आज वो टाइम आ गए इवें सारे बिरा एक पे नाल इत्तेफाक रखी रहे और हर गेम में तो समय लगती जो सरेकी है वदन क्योंकि ना बनाना इतना सौखा नहीं होता है एक बे दी स्पोर्ट नाल ना बनदे इंसान के कहीं ना तवक्को रखे कहीं चंगी दी अपनी मेहनत करो मेहनत दे नाल उत्ते हो इंसान दा साह ही अपना नहीं वो तो साह ही बे देते वदे वो क्या देसी तो को कहीं कहीं के कोई ना उम्मीद रखी और दुनिया क्या अक्सी दुनिया को छोड़ो तुसा दुनिया क्या देनी पे सकूं दुनिया कशा करनी देनी पे दुनिया गाली करेंदी है सब कमजोर करेंदी है कमजोर इंसान कहीं अगू नहीं मान सकता कहीं कमजोर न बनो अल्लाह से इंसान को बहुत बड़ी ताकत दी है वो जेरा कोई करना चाहे कर सकते चंगाई भी कर सकते बुराई भी कर सकते हमेशा सीधे रास्ते चलिया चंगाई दी उम्मीद रखी कहीं कहीं दा बुरा ना सोचा क्योंकि जरा बुरा बंदा सोचेंदे वो पहले आप ढांदे ऊं टाइम न डासी तो अगो चीज दा जाला को देवना पोसी हमेशा सारे बिराई में रल मिल के एक को सपोर्ट कीती रहो बाकी जेरे बिरा में सपोर्ट कीती पर उन्होंने कमाल मेहरबानी तो इतना काबिल समझी पर मैं को बाकी इंशाल्लाह मेरे के जितना थी सकसी मैं आप सरेकी बिरा में की आवाज चंदा रहे वैसा